Kempire is brought to you by the final show of the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live experience is coming to New York City Friday, September 12th at the Green Room 42, a night of hot topics, tea being spilled, and things that we don't talk about anywhere else. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I really don't, because I didn't expect to talk about penises during our most recent Washington, D.C. show. This is where you can come on your own. I always ask the audience how many people came here solo, and so many people come to these shows on their own. We encourage it. You also end up making a lot of really great lifelong friends from this experience. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you are in New York City or the tri-state area or will be in New York City or want to be in New York City for maybe your final hurrah of the summer, get your tickets today. But this New York City has a special option that is not included in any of the other shows, and that it will be also live streamed on September 12th. But you have to get your tickets before the show. More ticket information on the final date of the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live experience will be available in the description. I'll see you all very soon. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. And this is exactly why you should be listening to the podcast as well as watching us on YouTube, because I'm always giving you different content here on the podcast, and I'm adding this extended version of our Real Housewives of Orange County recap because I wanted to talk about this particular interview that Katie Janella from Real Housewives of Orange County did with Bryce Sanders on Entertainment Tonight. So we're going to listen to it together. It's a good, juicy 20-something seconds. However, I have it on 1.5 speed, so that's why it may sound weird to you. But that's okay, because I don't feel like you have that amount of time to be listening to this. Because I do also want to stop and go in regards to some of the things that they're saying. If you want to see the interview and you want to read her body language, you can find that on Entertainment Tonight's YouTube channel.
Well, I think my biggest...
I'm going to open with what I call the Oprah question.
Oh.
What do you want the audience to walk away with? What do you want them to say, okay, I learned that today from watching us?
Well, I think my biggest regret of the season is not standing up for myself. So maybe it's that, is that it is in me. I do have it. I would have done so many things different knowing now.
Yeah, the same way that you stood up to that driver that you chased down back to his home and then cried and told the police that he chased you. Maybe that same Katie Janella, or the Katie Janella that your former publicist says she's not who you guys think she is when she's on Real Housewives of Orange County. Look, if you're new here, you know I am team me all day. And when you're team me, you can hold people accountable when necessary. And as you know, I have not been a big fan of Katie Janella since I found out about that road rage incident. But I said I'm going to come in the season with an open mind and heart. However, what I'm seeing here is that Katie is not who we think she is. But I also see in the Bravo universe, it's so high school. And mind you, the people that watch Bravo at this particular point are of a particular age that are not in high school. But I say all that to say the people that listen to our podcast that are part of our community probably think very much like I do, that Katie is not as innocent that she pretends to be. But we also know that the other ladies on this show, like Tamra Judge, are not as innocent as they pretend to be as well.
What I like knowing then what I know now, but maybe it's that, I think everyone's frustrated at me for not saying things in the moment. I'm frustrated at myself. I would do that different.
It feels like you are trying to hurt all of us.
You gotta stop with the bloggers. I had to hire an attorney to sue the nanny. Do you understand that?
I never thought that I would be portrayed as this season's villain. I just saw an interview where they were talking about the Monica Garcia moment was me, and I just couldn't see it that way.
Yeah, your castmates talked a big game as we've approached mid-season. They said it all makes sense, wait and see, the bomb is gonna drop. Was the lie detector test the so-called bomb?
Well, to me, it was in the moment, because I was taking the lie detector test with that woman, the Bangs woman, and thinking it was real, and thinking I'm telling the truth. And then the results were revealed 30 seconds later, and they were that I lied about everything. So I left there feeling very defeated until I remembered who was actually administering the test. Do you want to see something?
Sure.
So that guy that they hired, he's a paid actor.
No.
This is Wendy, who works for him. This is all on his website. He tells you all these different things you can book him for. And for some...
Is that part of the reason why production decided not to show this man's face? We've seen him on reality television before. When it comes to Real Housewives, we've seen him on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when they did a lie detector test as well. And look, we're not going to get into a debate on lie detector tests are not admissible in court. We don't need a lie detector test to tell us that half these women are lying. But more specifically, we don't need a lie detector test to tell me that Katie Janella is a liar and a pretty damn bad one.
Some can do simple acting. It's very easy to Google about this duo that administered the lie detectors. And I think the women got what they thought wanted to happen, right? Was to prove I'm some sort of liar.
Well, and I kept thinking, because one, lie detector tests are an unreliable technology.
Yes.
They're unadmissible in court.
Correct.
So they're kind of an unproven pseudoscience. But if we're going to believe the results of the lie detector test, we have to believe it for everyone. And it felt like it was kind of selective reaction to it until yours was a full, you felt everything.
Correct.
So that must be true.
Well, and they are not admissible in court, right? And we have the lawyer of our group hiring the person to do the lie detector. That was a little strange. I will say it was strange to me looking back, because in the moment I was a little frazzled, but looking back, the only people that got every question right was Gina, Emily, and Gretchen. That seemed a little suspect to me.
It almost feels like death by 1,000 paper cuts for you.
Yes.
Like, no individual action was all that egregious. It's just, in your castmates' eyes, the volume of instances with you. Do you regret anything leading up to that lie detector test moment?
I do regret becoming friendly with some of these, what they call bloggers, but I call them content creators, podcasters, whatever. But I will say, first, half of my cast have podcasts, so that's a strange thing to me. Also, my husband and I have been in media for, my husband, 20 plus years. It's not abnormal to think we're friends with the media. Some of Matt's best friends have been on Golf Channel, Good Morning America, ESPN. So that's why it didn't seem so weird for me to be.
Oh, gosh. I can't tell you guys. This is my second time listening to this interview, and I'm just like, maybe she is getting better at lying because, like, come on, girl, stop it.
Friend them in a way. I also wanted them to get to know me because I felt like last season nobody actually got to know who I was. And I thought if they're going to talk about me, if they're going to roast my family, they might as well know exactly who I am.
So that's why you were kind of pouring into these relationships that then become questionable, is because you...
I don't feel like I poured in. I feel like saying, like, oh, thanks, that was really nice, thank you, hearting something. I don't think that's pouring in. Also, two of the people that I became friendly with are friends of friends that happen to do social media around pop culture.
There has been a lot of discussion this season online around race. Do you think this kind of freezing you out of the group has anything to do with racism?
I can't say for certain, I'm not them. All I can say is what I said in the show is that sometimes people say things not realizing that there are biases behind the words they're using. I feel like maybe we should do some learning and some Googling and some talking to people to learn. And some situations did make me feel very much like an other.
Do you feel...
I will agree with that, especially when it comes to Orange County and the women there, and they're probably not used to a person of color being on the show. And this goes back to what Lonnie Love said on Watch What Happens Live. I don't agree with that we can't have people of color on this show, because even though it's Orange County, there are people of color in Orange County. There are people of color that these people are mingling with, that are in social circles. We have to stop it's very much separate but equal mentality. And I know our country is a dumpster fire right now. But we got to learn from the past and not start falling back into, we need to separate ourselves, because it's impossible for us to live amongst each other. As someone that's born and raised in New York City and that grew up in a neighborhood that had Puerto Rican, that had Black, that had white, and Caribbean, we all lived together. And anytime there was any issue, the first thing that came out of people's mouth wasn't about someone's color or about someone's culture. Just saying.
Like it was premeditated, this sort of ice out coming into the season, now knowing how it shook out for you?
I do. I heard from one castmate that another castmate called head of production, and said, we need to give Gretchen Katie's orange, we want her out. So that's where the planning started from the very beginning of the season. I
could definitely see that as well. These housewives do this all the time. We saw it with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That's what they were trying to do with Monica Garcia. And y'all need to stop, because they talk about this in this interview too, that she's the Monica Garcia of Real Housewives of Orange County. Look, I don't care how you guys feel about Monica Garcia. She was a far better housewife. And even though people hate the fact that she was a blogger that infiltrated this show, that was still a far more entertaining season than what we're currently watching. I don't find what's happening now entertaining. And the mid-season trailer also came out. We'll do the mid-season trailer together as well in this special juicy podcast version of our Real Housewives of Orange County recap. But she is no Monica Garcia. And someone I follow, Junior on X, talked about how everyone is expecting Katie to come to the reunion and read these girls down. Based on what we've seen on Real Housewives of Orange County, she's not a reader. Okay, she's not going to read these ladies down. She, in these moments, becomes like, let me get back to you on that one. Girl, it doesn't work that way in Housewives.
So I think you see in the episode where Gina says to Gretchen, don't worry, we have a plan. And then says to Tamara, we got her, don't worry. So I think a lot of things were premeditated and planned.
Don't worry about Katie. All right, we've got Katie because we've got her.
Today will be a pivotal day in this group.
So the lie detector is sprung on you.
Correct.
Do you regret taking it?
But this is also another reminder to me that people like Gina and Emily that really have nothing else going. Not Emily, because I know some of you are over Emily, and I was over Emily after this lie detector situation, and it's like, I think you should go. However, she has a real story this season when it comes to her son. I don't care what anyone says. I feel like this story is going to help someone if it hasn't already. But Gina, I'm like, what are the suits thinking? Like, what's the point of Gina being here? So she could be a ish starter? There is no point to Gina. And what happens is when you keep these people on these shows for too long, they start self-producing, they start forcing things, they start creating this mean girl gang mentality.
No, because if I would have said, look, I'm not taking this, I'm leaving, then they'd be like, see, she's a liar, she's not taking it. I was damned if I did, damned if I didn't. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to tell the truth and be proven to be telling the truth.
You've lost your credibility with everybody here.
Yeah, Katie, maybe you should go.
I'll go.
You should go.
Okay.
Why didn't you stand up and fight back in that moment?
Well, part of me was like, okay, good, I cannot wait to leave. And then the other part of me was like, no matter what I say, these people want to villainize me. So like, why should I be screaming and yelling? They're not going to believe me anyways.
The bulk of these women paint you as a pathological liar. Do you see yourself as a pathological liar?
I do not. I think that everybody, day to day, may tell a white lie here and there. We all tell our kids that Santa exists. So there's that. But no, I'm not a pathological liar.
In the premiere, Emily had a notes app of offenses, so to say, things you have allegedly done. That included lying about Heather's paparazzi.
See, now if I was interviewing her, I would like, well, do you consider the road rage incident a white lie? We've caught you in multiple lies.
Photo. Heather snubbing you at a party, the fact that you were house hunting in Orange County just to meet Gina, that Gina spoke ill of Heather, all the drama with her kids, your daughter, and Heather, and that you will only go to Korea if it's paid for / filmed for.
That's the most egregious one, by the way. I've been waiting to talk about this. 10, 12 years ago, I was approached to film a documentary about finding my birth mother. I said it wasn't for me at the time. I was going through a divorce, and emotionally I couldn't do it. That's what she's referring to.
I don't know if I even believe her about that, y'all. Look, someone could have approached her about doing a documentary like that. I'm not saying that's impossible, but it kind of goes in line with the rumors of what people are saying that she's saying behind the scenes. Literally, her former publicist, Amir, came out and said, oh, when she started working with him, can I co-host Good Morning America? And he was like, no one knows who you are. So now someone approached her about doing a documentary following finding her birth mother. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just reminding you, for those that are listening to this, I'm just reminding you of some of the little lies that are standing out to me when it comes to Katie Janella.
Is something over a decade ago. I put off finding my birth mother last summer because my father was dying. I'm sorry, my father-in-law was dying. We went back to San Diego to be with him. We saw him every day. My husband went twice a day to see his dad. He did end up passing away. And then after that, leading into the reunion and after the reunion, it was all too emotional for me. I don't think I'm ready. These women and I have gone through something feels like a tornado, and I'm not emotionally ready to open that Pandora's box of emotions.
And would these be the people you would want to take on that journey kind of question with?
No. If I'm going to do this, it's going to be with my family only.
Are there any lies you want to own up to or set the record straight on right now?
No.
We know you did at least lie about the naked.
You know whose perspective on Katie Janella I want is production. Because they see a lot that we do not see. And this is why I always find it funny when people are team anyone. I'm like, you're watching an edited show. Context really is dramatic. And it will change your opinion on a lot of these people. And we don't have the context sometimes. Most of the time.
Wasted stuff to a point. You said to protect Gretchen.
Oh, yes. I did lie in the beginning about that.
Okay, but here's the thing. Am I saying what really happened, or am I protecting Gretchen right now?
Tell me what really happened. We'll go from there.
After Matt spoke to me, the night all this information came out about Kiki, Monique, and Gretchen, Slade called Matt and said, tell Katie to say that Gretchen never said it, and I have to, quote unquote, hold the line and protect Gretchen.
When my husband got the call when we were in New Orleans that it had all come out.
Sidebar, I do believe Gretchen is lying. But I also believe, you don't have to believe. We know Katie lied as well.
And Slade had called my husband over and over and over, sent him a text that said 911. I was new, and hearing that somebody said they're really mad at Katie. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do.
But why would you believe a middleman?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it was all very overwhelming, and to hear my husband say, hey, this is what's happening, it's a little bit scary, I went with that. I don't know.
It seems clear Gretchen at some point did say she went to the hospital, because we have seen her on camera both say she did and didn't go. Could there have been a game of telephone where this snowballed into, she needed to be hospitalized, and that snowballed into maybe she was drugged, blah, 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 that kind of a false memory was created?
No. 1,000% no. In fact, after she said it, my husband and I got in the car, valet at Mastro's, We were like, holy cow, can you believe that? And then I discussed it on the phone with Jenn after that. And then the following spring, I discussed it again with Jenn and Ryan and Slate on the phone. So no, there's no mistaking it. You don't forget something like that.
No. But I think Gretchen is somebody that would have exposed this years ago, it feels like.
Well, I think that she and Jenn have bonded.
Sidebar, I also see that Matt, her husband, has done an interview with a podcast last week as well. I've seen the clips.
Over equally hating Tamara. And I think that she, in that moment, wanted to prove to me and my husband, hey, this is how awful Tamara is. You should hate her too. So do I think she actually went to the hospital? No. Do I know that she told me that she did? Yes.
Okay. Kiki Monique, you have this lunch meeting with her.
Mm-hmm.
She
Pay attention to this particular part.
swears that you told her this information there. She also claims you shared a tidbit about Gina making a comment about Asian designers there.
Yes.
She said that she was trying to wear Asian designer to showcase them. And she said you came in and you saw her outfit and you looked at her and you said, is that an Asian designer?
How would she have this information if you were not the person who provided it to her?
You know, I don't know, and I really don't want to speak on Kiki much anymore. I know she's doing
You don't know how Kiki got this information?
every podcast she can and posting about it and talking about it constantly.
And her trying to make it seem like Kiki, look, I don't know Kiki chapter and verse. Like, we're not friends. Like, we are social media friends, okay? We follow each other. I don't know her like that. But what I know of Kiki Monique's character, she's not clout chasing. She's not a clout chaser. There are a lot of content creators that are clout chasers, and we're not going to name them. Name them. No. But Kiki's not one of them. Kiki Monique is not one of them, and I see the Bravo universe saying all kinds of crazy things about Kiki Monique and her character, and I get why she is doing interviews so that people can stop that, because she has been doing this for a long time. And the last thing, as a journalist or a content creator, no matter what, journalist or content creator, whatever you call yourself, you don't want your credibility to be shot, because that is your audience. I don't know Kiki Monique to be that person. And if it was someone else, and there have been plenty of bloggers featured on Real Housewives that might be considered clout chasers, name them. Shut up, no. But Kiki is not one of those people. And I feel bad that she got wrapped up in the situation, and where she went wrong was sitting down and having lunch with one of these housewives. Hence why I always keep a professional distance from these women.
And I think she got what she wanted, which was the recognition. As far as the Gina
She got what she wanted was the recognition. Katie, I knew Kiki Monique before I even knew who you were. I will know Kiki Monique after this, and I won't know who you are.
comment, I was supporting a woman of color in social media, in the pop culture space. I have been a fan of Kiki's for many years.
Not she feels like she's supporting a woman of color, like she's uplifting Kiki. Now all of a sudden she's taking Kiki down. Not just a woman of color, a black woman.
Years. And we bonded over being two women of color in this space, and that came up. Because we were, I don't know how it came up exactly, but we were discussing how there are these weird microaggressions that sometimes happen. Maybe they didn't mean to, but it happens that way, and that's how that came up.
So you did share that with her?
I did.
On the Gretchen front, though, how would she have the exact same reading of a moment that no one else has, except for you?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. What do you make
But
of...
I did not tell her.
In her...
I don't have an answer to that. I did not tell her. Okay.
Press Blitz responding to all this, she has said, I think Katie owes me an apology, and it feels like she's double tripling down to smear my name. Do you have anything to say to that?
I do not owe her an apology. I think that she willingly signed the release to be on the show. She put on the microphone. She is willingly doing all of these podcasts. She wanted this. This is not something I forced her to do, to film and to then go on social media and to talk and to do all these things. She wanted to.
Please understand, Kiki Monique could have had this opportunity. She, first of all, works for Bravo Andy, okay? Andy Cohen. She is an employee of his radio station on Sirius XM. Kiki could have been on any of these shows at any given moment. Just saying that there are other people that wish they could be in these opportunities, in these rooms. Kiki could be in these rooms.
To do that.
When you look back at how this entered the conversation on the show, it came through Tamara. Mm-hmm. She is also the person who brought up that you recorded Shannon. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about it, all roads leading back to Tamara, who at this point in time is kind of the only woman giving you the time of day in this group?
True.
Which is very interesting. I don't understand why all of a sudden I see some of these Team Katie folks really now trying to be like, worm their way around being Team Tamara. I'm like, Tamara, this ain't that bad. Really? Now all of a sudden?
It doesn't feel good in the moment, but like I've said, and I've said to you before, people love to hate Tamara, but she keeps our conversation going. She keeps the show moving, and it's why she's been on the show for 15, 16 years. I don't know the exact number. She's the longest running.
No, we'll be good without Tamara next season, to be honest with you. This whole idea that Tamra keeps the storylines going, keeps everything interesting, this season alone is proving how that is not necessary because she's there and it's still a very mid-season.
Housewife because she keeps it going. And it doesn't feel good to be at the brunt of it, but I guess that's Housewives.
She said I said that.
She said that you told her that.
That is just literally insane to me. I don't even understand why she would say that.
What was your reaction to watching Gretchen?
This moment with Kiki Monique and Gretchen, I definitely believe Gretchen is lying. We have Gretchen on camera basically saying that she said that she may have went to the hospital.
And Gina meet up with Kiki and the conversation they had. Do you have anything to kind of correct the record there or context to add to that conversation or just reaction to Gretchen breaking down in tears?
I wish I had been a part of that conversation. I wish I could have filmed that scene with them. I did reach out to Kiki multiple times and she never responded back to me, which was strange. And Gretchen looked upset that there.
Kiki, I believe I saw a clip where Kiki was on Carlos' podcast and she said that she did read that Katie did reach out to her to film. In regards to, I guess it was it was before New Orleans, Kiki said, reached out to her to film, like a phone call or something like that. In February, and they went to New Orleans, I believe, in March. And Kiki was on a flight going somewhere. And I can't remember I think she responded to her very quickly, but she was still sort of like, like film what? Like, what?
There were no tears.
What would you have said if you were at that table?
I would have asked her why she's doing this. Why does she want this 15 minutes? Why is she trying to smear my name? If she's accusing me of smearing her name, that's exactly what she's doing to me.
On the note of the Shannon reporting, Alexis Bellino has been on Carlos King's podcast about once a week saying...
Alexis is also another person that's been calling out Katie and her inconsistency with her lies.
I heard this thing.
Yes.
Why is she so adamant that she heard it? And you're saying she never heard it, you just relayed the context of it to her.
Right. I don't know why she's doing that. Maybe she misses the show. I'm not sure, but I'd like...
Do you see the deflection, guys? Come on. Like, we can't be this dumb, right? We can't be this dumb. The deflection, everyone else is lying but Katie.
For her to tell me exactly what's said on it. Tell me exactly what she says, because you can hear it clear as day what Shannon says. It's not very long. So if you heard it, tell me what it says.
As all this came to a head, Jenn really took a backseat in your friendship. And she's kind of framed it as, this is not my fight, this is your mess, I want no part of it, don't rope me into it. How do you feel about how she's handled this?
It's very sad. Jenn is someone that I dearly loved, and I felt like last year I stuck up a lot for her in situations regarding the dress, at Neiman Marcus and Ryan and all the allegations about Ryan. I stuck by her through everything, and I feel like when she saw the gang up on me, she thought, oh, I don't want to go down with the sinking ship, so I'm going to jump ship, basically.
If we are to believe you, Jenn is either lying by omission, or has selective hearing and or amnesia. What is your read on why she can never back up things you claim she saw with her own eyes?
I'm not sure about the Shannon recording situation. I'm not sure about her remembering or not remembering calling me a con artist, but I will say that her hate for Tamra is greater than her love for me, and that's what all this boils down to.
She's seemingly had quite a tough time coming up.
And I can't blame Jenn for hating Tamra. Tamra went below. Like, Tamra is no one's friend. So if Katie thinks that is going to be a friend to her, I wish her luck.
Out of the lie detector episode, she's been posting a lot on her social saying, instead of sending hate to me, go over to Katie's page, leave love. What's your reaction to seeing that play out? Well,
it's kind of hard to talk about this right now. It's a little bit scary because the things that she's doing online are kind of scary. I don't know. I don't need anyone to feed my ego. It's hard. I miss talking to her and I miss the relationship we had, and hopefully we can repair it one day.
You know what? It's scary. I'm sure Jenn is watching these interviews that Katie's doing and probably saying she's scary. Because I really do believe Jenn when she says some of the things that she says. I'm not saying that she's innocent. I'm not saying that maybe she chooses not to remember certain things and if she was there or not. But based on what Jenn has said in her confessionals about Katie, especially when they were talking about her being friends with bloggers and then the way that Katie tries to rationalize that, I'm sure she's probably a little scared of Katie and what Katie is capable of.
She is kind of the only one actively posting about this situation. Everybody else seems to kind of be ignoring the backlash. What has been your reaction to seeing that the audience, 90% seems to be behind you?
I don't think that anyone, including myself, knew it would go this way. I really was like, oh my God, I need to go into hiding. Like, I'll just hide in the house for a while. I'm very thankful for the fan support, but I will say that I don't like any of the bullying online. I don't condone any of it. I don't like the harassment the ladies are getting. I don't want them to feel the same way I felt this season.
When did the light bulb go off for you that, oh, this is not the firing squad I thought I was walking into as the season aired.
I was shocked. I was literally shocked. I think Matt and I sat in bed and we were looking through things and we were like, wow, amazing, you know? But fans are smart, and I think they can sniff from a mile away a setup, and that's what happened.
Thankfully, this was kind of a quick turnaround season. You didn't have to sit on it that long
I
to get
know.
watched, but I'm sure those 3-4 months or whatever it was felt heavy.
I finally slept a whole night the Thursday the polygraph aired. Literally, I woke up, I was like, wow, I slept the whole night because I had been so anxious about that episode and how it would go.
Part of your defense early on in the season to kind of clean up the mess of last season and what happened in between was I viewed it as eat or be eaten.
Yeah.
When did you come to that realization, and when did you realize that's not the way to approach this group?
When did I come to that realization? Did you watch the reunion?
No, you did. You wanted
no, I
to.
didn't.
This is your
No, I
thing.
didn't.
By the way,
Words in my
falsely
mouth.
accusing people is kind of your thing. I get it.
Oh my God.
What else has there been falsely
I think you thought it was funny.
She falsely accused someone and he ended up going to prison. And
He didn't go to prison. After that reunion, my husband drove up and waited outside the gates for me because he heard from my team that I was in shambles. And I left there like, I feel dumb. How did I not come into this reunion knowing that it would hit below the belt so hard? I am not afraid to talk about my past and things that have happened in a loving way where we can share about things, not as a weapon that I'm a bad person, right? So after that reunion, I was like,
You were on the wrong platform if you thought they were going to find out about your past and not weaponize it against you. This is not the platform, girl. I'm sorry to tell you. I look, if it was a friend group, like a real friend group, not on television where people are fighting for their paycheck and their position, I'd be like, yeah, girl, you would never want to be in a friend group where people are like this. But not on Real Housewives.
well, if I get asked back, I have to think about things a little bit differently. And whether that was good or bad, don't know.
Is there any misconception left over from that pile-on at reunion that you feel like you haven't gotten to clear the air on yet?
I don't think so. I wish when Heather came over to apologize, I would have maybe spoken back to her a little bit, now knowing what I know. But I was trying not to cry. I was trying to be strong in that moment.
Knowing what you know, in the sense that Gina claims that Heather's the one who made sure that Emily had
Dug
that
up all the
information.
stuff and then passed it around, yes.
Which Heather's denied digging it up. She said it just kind of crossed her desk.
Right, well, it didn't cross mine.
This week, is this the last time we're going to see you for a bit?
I think you'll have to wait and see.
Okay, that media training kicking in.
Yeah.
But
That's the only thing I retained.
You did take a step back from this group.
I did not film for a little while.
Was that your choice, production's choice, a mutual agreed thing?
I think that it was on, don't know how to say this. It wasn't beneficial for me to keep filming.
Okay. This did mean you missed out on the final trip.
I did.
Which you said you wanted to go on.
I did. I asked them if I could show up.
What kind of answer is that? It wasn't beneficial for me to keep filming. Was that production or was that yourself? Like that, see how she speaks?
Now that you know where everything truly has landed, are you glad you didn't wind up there? Would that maybe have made things worse?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't know. Maybe it would have. I have taken a break, and where it's at is very good. So maybe I'll just stick to that.
The first time you could see these women in quite a while is going to be Reunion.
Correct.
Which I believe is set to tape next month.
Correct.
Will you be there?
I will be there.
All right. What are you most looking forward to?
I've said I wasn't sure if she would be there or not, but maybe because she has Tamara on her side. If she didn't have Tamara on her side, I don't think that Katie Janella would be there. Do you think, based off the seating chart, that Katie Janella would be sitting next to Andy Cohen? That might be her only safe space.
To and or dreading about that day?
I'm hoping to get some apologies. Big ones.
Who do you most want an apology from?
I think it's kind of equal across the board. I would like to discuss this setup and trying to push me out. And like I said, I'd like some apologies.
How do you think all the women...
Who do you think should apologize to Katie? I wouldn't be apologizing to Katie, to be honest with you, but I'm not in this group.
Are going to approach that day, now knowing how the audience feels about season 19?
It's probably going to be a lot of heat coming my way. It might be everyone on one side and then just me. I don't know, but...
I did see a mock seating chart where it was everyone and then you and Tamara.
See? It's not just me that thinks that. Oh, man.
But do you think they might have a little tail between their legs kind of moment?
You think these women have tail between their legs?
I'm not saying that. I'm asking you if you think that's possible.
I think that Jenn has a lot of humanity about her. I think that is a person that would be a little regretful.
Have you heard from anybody in the aftermath of the lie detector test episode airing?
Tamara, and that is it.
And what did she say?
How are you doing? She checks in on me, which is really nice.
Is there anybody that you would like to continue a friendship with?
Please understand, if Tamara's checking in on you, it's not because she really cares. She's checking on you so she can use them. Like, I checked in on you.
The friendship with, or is it kind of, you show me who you are, I cannot move forward with you?
I don't see a path forward with Gretchen. I think that what happened and then some other things that have come out are kind of hardline things for me. And, I feel really hurt and betrayed by Emily and Gina. So I don't know about that, but everyone else I could see myself preparing and moving forward.
So Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if she's going to move forward.
Well, there's always hope, Bryce.
And then Tamara and Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would moving forward look like for you?
Well, first I need them to actually get to know me and talk to me as a human being and maybe offer an apology for things they've done because I have apologized over and over and over, and I mean that, but I have, and I think I'm done apologizing. I've done that.
That's all I got for you.
All right, thanks, Bryce.
Okay, so let's get into the mid-season trailer for season 19. I can't believe we're already there, but I'm kind of glad that we're already there. And as you saw from the interview that Katie Janella did with Entertainment Tonight, we will not see her on the cast trip. Not sure how much of her we're going to see in these next couple of episodes. She is on this week's episode, but we shall say, again, even if we don't see her, I'm not going to really miss her. Katie is not... Again, when they do this whole, like, oh, she's the Monica Garcia of the season, I was like, no, she's not. Because Monica, other than her being a blogger that infiltrated this cast, actually had some really interesting personal story. And yes, Katie has some personal story, but to carry a season, I don't know about that. We had, with Monica Garcia, first of all, she was a very big personality, and she wasn't like Katie where... you come at her and she was going to whimper away. She was not like that at all. But she also had the issues with her mother. I love that fact that she owned that she was not the wealthiest of this crew, and she had her insecurities about that. I like that about Monica. I know a lot of people did not like Monica, but I was not one of them. And I was concerned for them. But then I was like, Monica who? After this last season, because they brought it. They definitely brought it. So I'm open to being wrong. However, Katie has not proven me that she's a dynamic personality that deserves to return. But that's just me. Anyway, let me get into this mid-season trailer because I want to know how you guys feel about this mid-season trailer. And if you're watching the premiere of this on YouTube, on our Kempire Radio YouTube, this is where the podcast now lives. The podcast version now lives on our Kempire Radio Network YouTube channel. So these extended juicy episodes will be going back there. We had done that before. I'm going back to doing that, keeping it separate from the main channel. All right. So make sure you're following the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, for those that want to know, we're going to be putting extra juicy episodes over there, including video versions as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's get into this mid-season trailer for Real Housewives of Orange County, season 19.
Where are we? Oh, maybe roll your window up.
That's going to change? Nothing? In a car like this?
Colleen, drive the car. Colleen, drive the car. What are you doing? This is part of the show. Jesus, you asshole.
Still to come this season on the...
So some sort of weird game that they're going to be playing at the end of the season? Okay.
Real Housewives of Orange County.
All right, here we go! Oh, shit. Legal drugs. Wow, drugs.
So they will be doing weed in Amsterdam. Mind you, I've been to Amsterdam so many times that I've never done weed.
You make your own dick here.
Did you have fun with this?
Of course. Oh,
You can make penises in Amsterdam. I'm going to do that when I go.
I'm like hot to it.
The what?
I'm not a spitter.
Are you more of a swallower?
Oh my God.
With Shannon, I do worry about her.
What in the HR department?
She doesn't feel like she has a problem.
To Amsterdam! Dankovo!
Even Gina said she's concerned about your drinking right now.
Are you
Uh-oh, they're talking about her drinking. Shannon's drinking. Uh-oh.
Kidding me?
Who do you trust the least? Tamara.
Well, do they have a real friendship?
No, Heather's scared of her.
When did Heather become such
Heather trusts Tamara the least. You couldn't tell from this season.
a pussy?
Here comes the bride.
She's like married. He's getting married again.
Her daughter, Jen's daughter, says it's weird that she's getting married again.
If it didn't work for them, I would have to lose Ryan.
Gretchen got drunk and proceeded to tell a story about me.
I have kept my mouth shut forever.
So Tamara gets up and she points her middle fingers all in Gretchen's face. F off.
Stop! Tamara wanted to sit with Katie because there's something that she wants to know about you.
Oh my God, this is about human decency.
I want like an explanation.
Where do we go from here? I don't like any of this.
What is Gina crying about? Like, I don't like any of this.
Guys, what are those drums?
This is a Real Housewife of Orange County music!
They're at some sort of club and they're playing the Real Housewives of Orange County theme song.
Is this just my head?
So that is the trailer. Again, even rewatching it, I watched it earlier and I was just like, that's a bit mid. It does not give me excitement to tune in for the rest of the season, hence why we've been doing pre-recorded. Well, I probably wouldn't have done pre-recorded if Bravo didn't change the schedule for Real Housewives of Miami, but Miami will be ending soon, so maybe towards the end of Orange County season, we will get back to doing some lives on Fridays, but hence why I was like, it's not worth it. Miami is so much more fun to recap live, and I didn't want to infiltrate Miami's recap and recap both of these shows. I did not want to do it. So I just given myself more work to do on a Thursday evening to do a pre-record or a Friday morning. But here we are. I'm doing it. All right. So that is the trailer. And now let's get into our Real Housewives of Orange County recap episode, whatever episode it is, but it's season 19. Guys, again, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. If you're not, if you're watching this on our Kempire Radio YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe as well. And don't forget to like the video. That helps support the channel. That helps push this out to other people that enjoy the content that we do. So thank you in advance, and shout out to our King's Guards for holding us down per usual. Thank you. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County. It is pre-recorded because ain't nobody got time for that. And Monique Samuel, infamous words. Oh my goodness. I watched the episode. It wasn't a bad episode, maybe because we have the saga that is who exactly is lying. And I think I've said this last week. I know I said this last week. I feel like everyone is lying. I definitely believe Gretchen is lying. I do believe Slade very much. And I'm glad that they showed the throwback of Slade at that reunion. But I had already saw that on social media this week about him not being on that season because Joe wasn't asked back. And Andy had to correct him and was like, well, there would be no need for you because Joe was not going to be on the season. And Slade's like, yeah, I know that. Slade probably laid the groundwork for all the thirsty husbands that we're currently dealing with when it comes to Real Housewives. And I do believe that Slade and Gretchen are lying here. We have it on camera for the most part. And now they want to spin it and say, well, no, I said it this way. I said I should have gone to the hospital. Here's the thing, though. And if you listen to the podcast version of our recap, I'm going to add the Katie Janella interview that she did with Entertainment Tonight, my reaction to it, along with the mid-season trailer that dropped. The mid-season trailer, I would just say, literally is mid, meaning that it's not really great for what we can see for the rest of the season. Very clearly, we're not going to see a lot of Katie, but I'm actually okay with that. Here's the problem with the Katie, Team Katie folks. They were like, Team Katie, I don't care, because you have no actual reasons to be Team Katie besides hating this cast. And I get why you don't like this cast, because this cast includes Tamra and Gina that have nothing else going on. Shannon has nothing really else going on. Heather Dubrow, those beautiful gowns. A lot of these people have nothing else going on. And I get why the fans are turning on the cast, because they're like, here we go with a gang up. No one likes to see a gang up. But what I've noticed with Katie Janella, she is not innocent. And yes, all of these housewives lie, but there's something very dark and sinister about Katie Janella and her lies. And I really tried to let go of what we discovered last season in regard to that road rage incident. But it's really... Again, I'm a strong believer. Dr. Maya Angelou said it best. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. An incident like that in my real life, I would probably be like, yeah, I'm not fooling with someone like that. On this show, unfortunately, I try to keep an open mind when we come into this new season. I was like, let's start anew. All right. So we do get Katie in this episode. Not sure if we're going to get Katie in future episodes. She did confirm that she will be going to the reunion. The only person she is in communication with is Tamra. And you're probably wondering, after watching this week's episode, how exactly do we get to the place where Tamra is good friends with Katie? And in this episode, it seems as if Tamra and Gretchen put their beef aside and they decide to move forward. Well, if you saw the mid-season trailer, you saw that doesn't last long at all. It doesn't last long at all. I'm not surprised because we have to remember who we're dealing with. Tamra. Tamra loves to apologize. They used to call Ramona the apologizer. So is Tamra. She'll apologize, take ownership for it, and make it seem like she really genuinely means it. And then she will do something again. But we shall see how we get there between her and Gretchen. Again, Gretchen's downfall is Slade. But Gretchen, I don't believe you either. Not a tear was shed during that Kiki Monique interview or conversation. All right. Where do we even go? Okay, speaking of Kiki Monique, I did see the clip. Shout out to our friends over at Bravo and Snarkside. Matter of fact, I will actually play the clip for you guys because it's from the podcast that Teddy Mellencamp and two twats in a pod, whatever they call it. I don't even know what they call it. Okay. In the twat seat, it's what it's called. This particular, they have so many different iterations of their podcast. I'm like, oh my God, who gave them all of these damn iterations? But okay, whatever. Let me just bring up for you guys what was said on this podcast as to who may be the originator of the Gretchen allegedly telling Kiki Monique about it. So they're saying that it was Sheena. Take a listen to what was said. Let me just
Before we left Spain, we all left.
Hold on, that was Real Housewives of Miami. Hold on.
What I was told,
yes, Teddy.
Who knows if this is true, but I was told that Gretchen and Sheena are very tight.
You were told by who? Who told you?
Yes. And that Sheena told Kiki.
It should be noted that Kiki does collaborate with Sheena on her podcast.
I have heard that from multiple people too.
The person you're hearing speaking is Katie Janella, because conveniently her only ally is Tamra.
Okay, so I'm glad that we got that figured out. So, I heard that they are very tight. So there's multiple sources that could have told Kiki.
There is an account that was created just for this. I was sent.
What?
I'll send it to you if you would like me to. And actually, they sent it to Matt, and Matt sent it to me. And he was like, this is how it makes sense. And it was Sheena. There's clips of Sheena calling Gretchen with Kiki on their podcast together saying,
I don't know about you. There's a person in the comments section that says, I'm so confused at this point. At the same time, I am over it. That's exactly how I'm feeling. Because you know what? I think the reason why I'm over it is because I don't feel like there's any innocent party here. I don't feel like there's anyone telling the truth. And when you feel like everyone is lying and you know that you're never going to get to the bottom of something, so it's like, why are we even discussing this at this point? It's not even worth it.
How do we get you back on the show? How do we do this? And it's also, it's this stream of like 20 slides of how it makes sense.
What I was...
Lord, Katie, you're grasping at straws as well. All right. But again, I'm team no one because I feel like Gretchen and Slade are lying. I do believe that Gretchen and Slade wanted to twist this or come up with some sort of storyline. I do believe this cast wanted to push Katie out and bring Gretchen in as a full-time, I was going to say peach holder, orange holder. I believe that. They're not above doing something like that because they really felt like Katie wasn't fitting in with them. Is it because she's Asian? I don't know. Let's ask Matt and his spicy Asian name for her in the phone. I saw she came out and said, I put it in there as that. Okay, girl. Look, for those of us that are going to have that talk, let's have the conversation. We know men very much like Matt that fetishize Asian women. Please understand, he put her name in there like that. But she's going to protect him because they protect each other because they're cut from the same cloth. We were saying this the other day. Matt is not, he's a little shaky too. But anyway, let's move on. What happens in this episode that's even worth talking about? All right. I just want to remember certain things. So at the top of the episode, I didn't take any notes, guys, because I'm not invested in Real Housewives of Orange County. So when you guys asked me to go, I should go back and rewatch, and it probably had amazing seasons. But there was a reason why I just never gravitated to Orange County. Okay? I watched every other season in every other city, including Dallas. I just never gravitated to Orange County. Nope. Anyway. So at the top of the episode, we had, Gretchen and Emily going to get their testosterone. Fine. All right. I'm sure they probably talked about Katie at some particular point. Whatever. Okay. Let's get to the nitty gritty of it all. Katie and Jenn and their relationship. They meet up to talk about what is going on. And Katie says that the people that did the lie detector test were actors. Well, they do a little bit of acting. That this is on their website. Okay, fine. I already told you I recognize the guy, even from his side profile. He's been on reality television before. But that doesn't stop these housewives from calling him back to utilize him on this show. He has a whole business from it. Again, people say it's not admissible in court. It's not the bet. Okay, fine. Was it a setup? It could have been a setup. Do I think Katie Janella lies a lot? Yes. Yes. But okay. Could have been a setup. So Katie brings this folder with receipts in regards to who these people are, that it was a setup. But then they talk about why Jenn feels the way that she feels right now. Why she did not go after her. Because she felt like everything came back in regards to her stuff was true. But every lie that came, everything that she said during her lie detector test came back false. So Jenn is just sort of like, okay, this is sort of like the icing on the cake. This is the cherry on top. Because throughout the season, Jenn has been pointing out, like, you keep throwing back on me to defend you about things that I don't recall and I don't remember. Here's my issue with this whole situation. I'm not going to say that Jenn is completely innocent. I saw Jenn's social media behavior this week as well. But some of y'all being real disgusting in her comment section and in her DMs, like really gross. And mind you, some of y'all probably like 30 plus or 40 plus. Get help. I would say the same thing if you guys are saying the same thing to Katie Janella in her comment section or in her. It's not that deep. You are basing your strong feelings on an edited reality show. Like, calm down. You don't know these people and they don't want to know you. They will never know you. Stop with the weirdo behavior in their DMs and comment section. It's one thing to have your own YouTube channel and you like, I don't like this. That you can create a YouTube channel. All right. Look, but I guess you feel like you can say whatever you want on the internet. Some of y'all better be careful with some of the dangerous things that you say on the internet. Because some of y'all threatening people's lives and you could get in trouble for that. Weirdos. This is not for our community, but y'all know who we're talking to. Like, weirdo behavior. I don't care who you like or who you don't like. I don't care if you like me or not. Please understand, you come and threaten me in my comment section, I will be forwarding it to the feds. And to YouTube. That way you will never be able to create another YouTube account ever again in life. Weirdo behavior. I've never had that happen to me here on YouTube. Not that I know. Because y'all know I create the content. I'll see the first few comments. Hey, how you doing? And then I move on. Because I'm on to the next story. We got Real Housewives of Miami later today. Make sure you're subscribing and make sure your notifications are on. Ain't nobody got time. Look, I'm in the infamous, iconic words of Monique Samuels. Even though it's not really her words. But, recently she said that about the photo. Taking the photo over. She said, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. So they sit down for this conversation. And you can see by the end of it, because Jenn gets frustrated. She's like, I don't remember some of the things that you're trying to get information back from me to have me have your back during these conversations when I clearly don't remember them. And you can see Katie get really emotional by the end of this conversation because I think she's starting to feel like no one has my back. But here's the thing. If someone that you were friends with, witnessed some of the things that they witnessed with you, that you're accusing them of witnessing, you were there, wouldn't you not necessarily start crying? You'd be like, Jenn, you were there. Are you really going to sit there and tell me that you did not see and hear this? This was the day, this was the time, you were there. We went to this particular restaurant. You were there. It's all nice and good that now she has the receipts and she's saying, like, well, no, this is when it happened. But now, after the scene, but in that moment, when Jen is saying, like, I did not see that, I did not hear that. Do I think that there's a little bit of Jen wanting to be in with the rest of the group and not be on an island on her own? It could be that. But in that moment, because we're body language experts, not really. We say it facetiously. But in that moment, for me, what I sense, this is just what I sense. I'm not saying that it's fact, because some of y'all will get in the comment section thinking that what I'm saying is fact. We can't say anything is fact because we, of all the people watching this, have no idea what really went down. We can try and put together and piece together what could have went down, but none of us really know. Can we all agree? None of us really know what went down. But okay. So they had this conversation. They go back and forth. Katie has her receipts, and then it ends in a weird space, basically that they're not friends anymore. And you see later on in Katie Janella's conversation with her husband Matt that she's like, I still miss Jen. If someone really betrayed you in this way, and I know you guys will be like, well, they were really close, blah, blah, blah. They just met last season. And yes, they could have been really close and got really close because of this journey. Very possible. But this is a Johnny-come-lately friend. This is not a friend of many, many years. And yes, they could have opened up to each other and shared so many different things. Fine. But this is a new friend. She's like, I still miss Jen. Jen allegedly turned on you this season. This is what you're accusing her of. But you still miss Jen? She hasn't had your back at all in regards to what you've accused her of. I find that interesting. I found it interesting in that moment. I see Katie's tears in that moment as a way of her like, I have no support. I have no one left on this cast. The one person I thought that would have my back no matter what, right or wrong, lie or truth, doesn't have my back, and she is done with me. I saw a young Katie probably being triggered from her past and being triggered from a very similar situation. That's what I saw in that moment. And did I feel for her? I did. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, Katie, what did you create here? And when you listen to the podcast version of this, I talk about the things that she said about Kiki Monique in this interview with Entertainment Tonight. People want to start painting bloggers, content creators. Not all of us are created the same. Not all of us are liars, are here for clout. Not all of us do things for clicks and likes and views. Kiki Monique, I don't know Kiki like chapter and verse. We're not best friends. I just know her from her work and my interactions with her. And what I've gotten from Kiki over the years is not clout chaser. There are plenty of opportunities where she could have been a clout chaser. Do I think that maybe what I personally would not do is sit down and have lunch with any of these new housewives or housewives in general? Why keep a healthy distance? This is exactly why. Because they will try and pull you in, use you, and then discard you later and be like, oh, she's just doing it for clout. That's where Katie Janella loses me. Because she says in the interview, I wanted to connect with her as two people of color on this platform, blah, 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 blah. No, girl. No. Now you're trying to paint Kiki out to be a clout chaser. You're trying to discredit her. If anything that we have as content creators, journalists, bloggers, whatever, credibility is so important. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that followed Kiki because they enjoyed her work over the years because of Housewives stuff that are now turning on her because of what Katie has been putting out there on this black woman. I'm just saying, I feel like people need to base your opinion not based off of what Katie, who has had a lying problem and apparently may have lied on another person of color during that road rage incident, allegedly. So I'm keeping my foot on her neck. I don't care what no one says, because there has been a huge pattern that people want to ignore. You can say that these women have a pattern of talking to bloggers and lying, but we can't deny that Katie definitely did this, definitely lied multiple times. So that conversation ends badly. Okay. We also have another scene based off of this, I wonder if this was production, because it seemed as if they were trying to pull in Gina's ex's current girlfriend, fiance, I don't know what they are now. The one that looks like Kelly Dodd. She didn't look that much like Kelly Dodd in this episode. It felt like they were trying to pull her in as maybe a replacement. Didn't it feel that way? And then we see Joe again at the beach party. But we find out that Matt had a heart attack. It sounded really scary. What I did love about this moment was seeing this example of how you can, as a divorced couple, co-parent and get along. So they share this really emotional moment, saying that Gina was very glad and happy that she was there to help Matt, because she's like, I don't even know how I would have that conversation with my kids if Matt had died. So Matt eventually comes and he's just like, he has to live a new lifestyle because of this heart attack. So we had that moment. We have another moment later in the episode with, Shannon, Gina, and Emily. And of course, they're talking about the Katie of it all. And Jenn brings this information in regards to the, because there was another scene with Heather and Jenn and Tamra, which was interesting to see, because we were like, wait a second. Tamra and Jenn do not get along. But at this particular point, Tamra is not Team Katie. They're not. Because at the lie detector test, we see Gretchen and Tamra hug it out. That was like the first time they sort of kind of made amends, because they both were on the same page in regards to that. But later in the episode at the beach party, Tamra calls Gretchen out for what she said in New Orleans. I know there's so many different scenes. Again, I didn't take notes. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. You don't like it, you don't have to be here. I'm not passionate about Real Housewives of Orange County this season. It's just not worth it at this particular point. All right. So where was I? So we have this scene with Emily, Shannon, and Gina, and they talk about Katie and the whole conversation about the lie detector test and the proof that Katie had. And they're like, oh, whatever. She's as mad as she got caught, whatever. The same conversation was had with Heather, Tamra, and Jenn. And Heather in her confessional was like, yeah, my husband's a doctor on TV, but he's also a doctor in real life. Okay, I mean, yes, good example. But again, the lie detector test. First of all, I would not want to be blindsided with a lie detector test. Would I really care? Not really, because I don't lie like that. Even though Katie likes to call her lies white lies. So that's what she said in the Entertainment Tonight interview. That's what she said in the Entertainment Tonight interview. Guys, a reminder, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is a subscribers-only live chat. And don't forget, you can also listen to our extended version of our Real Housewives of Orange County recap on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. All right. The other thing I wanted to remind you guys, because I almost forgot, we have a live show. Our final live show a week from today will be here in New York City at the Green Room 42 featuring the Brooke Ashley. So go get your tickets today if you haven't already, if you are in the New York City tri-state area. This show has an exclusive live stream option, so you will be able to watch it with all of us at the same time. And you have an extra cool part to this, especially for those of you that are in other parts of the world. You will be able to watch it for a week. So, again, ticket information will be available for the Kempire After Dark Villain Era live experience coming to New York City on September 12th at the Green Room 42. Get your tickets today. All right. Where was I? Oh, God. This is like... It's killing me. Like, how long we've been talking? Okay, not bad. 25 minutes we've been talking. I just feel I'm just so over it. Very much like what that comment said. I don't know who's telling the truth. There's nothing else going on. Not really interested. However, we do get a phone call. We're with Emily, Gina, and Shannon. And Emily opens up about what's going on with Luke. And because he calls her and, he's really upset. He's not really upset. He wants to do something. But he's talking like that baby talk. So, and she's like, he's digressing. She's frustrated with everything that's going on. Her husband, Shane's father was in the hospital. Now he was coming home from the hospital. So there was some good news. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the scene with Matt and Katie. So we have that scene with Matt and Katie. And Matt basically says, look at all the times that Slade called me. And he basically says, why would I want to be talking to Slade this many times? At one particular point, Slade called him and they had like a 40-something minute conversation. And Matt basically says that Slade wanted to get everyone in line when it comes to this Gretchen storyline, when it involves Tamara. It should be noted that Slade has nothing else going on, so I wouldn't be surprised now that he's back in the Bravo universe, the Real Housewives universe, especially that clip didn't age well in regards to him wanting to be on the show. And he's like, I stepped away from the show. And Andy was like, well, Joe wasn't coming back, so you wouldn't be on the show. He's like, yeah, I know. Huh? Sir. So clearly, he's definitely involved. And now that he's back on the show, he's probably more involved. And he doesn't work. Hold on, y'all. Let me keep my fourth wall in. Oh, we froze. While I'm doing that, guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy, it's free. Share the video. Also, I always forget to tell you guys, share the video. Share it to your contacts. Let people know we are live. We are live because, people don't get their YouTube notifications. Shout out to our Twitch community. I hear I'm streaming high quality over there on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheKempire. All right. So Matt says, they basically reiterate what they've been saying, that Slade was the one that wanted them to get in line and to protect Gretchen at all costs. And that's what they're alleging Jenn is doing now. And they flash back to when they were in New Orleans because Matt called him. Apparently, Ryan was on phone calls about this as well. They are better than me because if I was a partner to any of these reality TV stars, I was like, I'm not getting involved in this. This is stupid and this is sophomoric. This is childish and immature. But that's me. Because I was like, what the hell? What? First of all, if Slade called me, I was like, Slade, F you and get off my phone with this stupidness. I'm not falling in line to do anything right now. So the fact that anyone was playing into these games says to me, like, y'all are grown adults. Y'all have nothing else going on in your lives that you have to pre-produce all these storylines. But that's me. I just couldn't get, because some of y'all probably have a lot of the sophomoric, immature high school situations with some of your couple friends. Couldn't be me, because I know I would look at my partner like, what are we talking about? Really? You see what's happening in our government? You see what's happening in the world? He wants the Department of Defense to be the Department of War because that's the most pressing thing to be talking about right now. Huh? He changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America because that's pressing? I mean, I could go down the list. So, I mean, now more than ever, I would look at my partner like, this is not something that we need to be worried about. But then y'all already know I would not be on reality television. So my partner wouldn't ask me to be doing this stupid stuff. But I probably would say the same thing because I say this with some of my friends sometimes. I'm like, what are we talking about? Why is that important? But that's me. Some of y'all be like, because I'm snooty and I'm above it all. No, I have other things for us to be talking about. Like Big Brother. I did not watch it yet. Do not spoil it for us in the chat. I'd much rather talk about that. But anyway. All right, so they had that conversation. What stood out to me in that moment between Katie and Matt was nothing that they were saying, because I believe he's going to defend Katie right or wrong. And a lot of you say, I mean, as a husband should. As a husband should. Fine. What stood out to me in that moment was how he labels his wife. My spicy Asian? I know she's been on social media now saying, I put my name in there as that. No, you didn't. More lies.
Lies! The lies!
Come on. We already know these men, white men specifically, fetishize these Asian women all the time. I'm pretty sure he did. He did that. But girl, go off. Again, protect each other. That's your partner. Fine, girl, you like it. We love it for you. But we see through all of it. At least I do. That's why you blocked me, because you knew I see through it. Anyway, let's get to this beach party that they invited. Honestly, the end of the episode was actually pretty heartwarming. I know you're probably like, it was. So we have this beach party. All right. They invite everyone. The kids, they're playing volleyball with Jenn planned this party. It's a cute party. All right. It's definitely not a party given by Heather Dubrow. This is why I say Heather's necessary for this show. Okay. For now. So they have this beach party. They all sit down for lunch and they're talking about their good news. What's been going on in everyone's life and things like that. At first, Shannon shared that her daughter, Sophie's, had found his boyfriend and then they broke up. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, does Sophie want, and then because she also mentioned that Sophie was heartbroken and crying. I was like, does Sophie want you to be, because come on, imagine your mother on national television is sharing that you've been heartbroken. As a tourist, where we do not like to see people see us sweat, that would have pissed me off if my mother went on national television and let the ex know that I was boo-hooing over him. Just saying. However, it becomes heartwarming at the end because Sophie joins them and then they all share their heartbreak stories. Okay, but before we get to that, why, oh why? Okay, wait, no, there were a few things. There were a few moments. The beach moment wasn't a bad beach moment because there was just a lot of conversation around everything. And it wasn't even about Katie. It was just about them. And then Gretchen and Tamara go over to the side and they have their own side conversation. Heather says it's so weird to see these two not get along and they did a lot of flashbacks in this episode. As someone that doesn't watch Real Housewives of Orange County chapter and verse from the early years, it helped to give me context, and I think that's why production did it. But at the same time, it made me go like, did you guys just not have a lot that you felt like you had to fill things in? I don't know. But I guess it helps to give context. But at the same time, it's like, why are we still talking about 15-year-old beef? You guys don't like each other. And based off of this season, we're going to remind it, they do not like each other. Stop trying to force something to happen. Heather, though, points out that when she came into this group, they were friends. She went to Tamara's wedding. Heather was in Tamara's wedding. But fine. One of the things that they talked about in this episode, they were like wondering what's Heather's episode? No, it was in the trailer where they talk about Heather and her undying loyalty to Tamara. It's weird, but we've been saying that it's weird. We don't know what it is. Oh, no, we do know what it is because Heather later admits, I think it's in the mid-season trailer, that the person she trusts the least, I think that's the phrase that they use, was Tamara. So that makes sense why she doesn't want to turn on her. Who knows? Maybe she's heard similar things that Amir said that Katie told him. But okay, whatever. Allegedly. Everything that I say in this recap is alleged in my opinion. So just an FYI, this is a review. This is not news. Okay. Anyway, so at the beach party, Gretchen and Tamara have a side conversation. Okay. And you can only imagine what it was like. You guys watch it. I'm not going to rehash every little single detail. But that's exactly what they do. They rehash every single detail of their issues from over the years. And then production inserts those issues. Like there are many issues that they've had. Eventually, after they've rehashed their issues from over the last 15 years, then they say, I'm willing to move forward. I mean, after the rehashing of everything, Gretchen even apologized for replying to Tamra's daughter's post. She's like, I'm sorry I did that. That was not my intention. My intention was not to hurt you. So Tamra says, I'm willing to move on. I want to move on. They hug it out. It seems like it's going to be all good. Emily says their relationship is like milk. Eventually it will go sour. I mean, that's a perfect example. I was like, yeah, I mean, and we know if you saw the mid-season trailer, which was mid, then you saw it doesn't last. It definitely doesn't last. Here's what I think needs to happen for next season, in my opinion. They need to shake up the cast. They need to shake up the cast. They've been needing to shake up the cast. I don't think Tamra is as the fire starter, force multiplier that y'all claim her to be. She's actually really toxic for this cast and for this show. I think they should bring her back. I think they should keep Jenn, because I feel like Jenn is still good for the show. Keep Heather for now, because she's going to give us those parties. Emily and Gina, maybe keep one. It's not going to be Gina, though. Because Gina's just not going to be able to bring any sort of lifestyle that people are interested in watching. And she's been on here way past her expiration date. If they want to bring Katie back, they can. I'm okay if they don't bring Katie back next season. Katie is not who y'all think she is. Katie is also not that interesting. I know she thinks that she's the most interesting thing, but she's not. Shannon definitely doesn't need to come back. What is Shannon's storyline this season? And again, I always say this. You don't need a storyline if you're an interesting person. But Shannon's performative behavior and her being mad at Katie for recording her, yes, I understand being mad. But to be like, I am never going to speak to you again, girl, you were still friends with Tamra. And Tamra's done some of the worst things to you over the years. I definitely think they need to get rid of at least 2 or 3 Housewives to shake things up for next season. And to me, it's perfect because it's the 20th episode, 20th season. It's a perfect time to do a cast shakeup. Some people are saying bring back Vicky. I have never watched a season where Vicky was like a housewife. I mean, it's the 20th season. She's the OG. She's the OG of the OC. But I know some of the problematic things that that Shannon has said over the years. I'm not a huge fan. Just saying. But I understand why she was so successful on this show. She's exactly what people like from Housewives. Like, she's delusional. And she's quirky. And I saw she spoke out recently, too. What did she say? It was on her podcast. I saw a preview on social media from Christian with the podcast that they have. She says something about this current season. It was about something that Gretchen, Slade. It was during the Morocco Ultimate Girls Trip that we will never see the light of day. She was saying that Slade was trying to produce then during Ultimate Girls Trip. Slade's just sitting at home bored because he's unemployed. I know people love to use that against him, but it's very clear that he's bored. Get out of these women's business. Go get you some business to mind. But okay. But anyway, so Tamra and Gretchen have this back and forth. They flash back through all of these moments that they've had over the years. It was good for me to watch because I didn't know all of these moments. But at the same time, I was like, y'all clearly don't like each other. You've had these ups and downs for many, many years. And at one particular point, Gretchen says that, because you called him a deadbeat, it's hard for him to get jobs. Tamra really wanted to act like she was concerned. And she's like, is that why he has not been able to get a job because of that? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm honestly, it's Slade's behavior on this show is the reason why he probably can't get a job. I don't know if he's a deadbeat or not. Some of y'all said that he is a deadbeat, but whatever. Whatever. I don't know. He definitely seems thirsty. He definitely gives Simon Gobadia. He definitely gives Peter Thomas vibes. If anything, he's worse than them. I want to be honest with you. Because he's like real actively trying to go up against these women in the crew. But okay. So they make amends though. We shall see how long it lasts. It won't. We saw in the mid-season trailer, it does not last. Probably during the Amsterdam trip. All right. So the best part of this episode for me, Sophie joins the group, Shannon's daughter. She joins the group. And they point out, like, your mom told us about what happened. Again, embarrassing. But they have a suggestion. How about we go around the table and talk about our worst breakup? So they go around and talk about their worst breakup. Heather shares one. Jenn shares one. Tamara shared one that was scary. That was real. She went to her ex-boyfriend's house, tore up his leather coat. And then when he came, she had the knife in her hand, and he was with his new girl. Sounds about like Tamara. So she's been nutty all her life. Real Virgo-like. Sorry, Virgos. Happy Virgo season. Anyway, so they go around and they tell all their breakup stories. Gina's like, of course, my worst breakup has to be my divorce. Jo is there, and her worst breakup, very obvious. They replayed that. I saw this clip before as well. When Slade broke up with her on camera in therapy. So, and Heather was just like, you know what? This is just letting you know you will look back on this in a few years and be like, you know what? You will be able to laugh about it. And for me, that was the best part of the episode. I could care less about this Katie and them and the lie detector test. I was like, this was actually a really heartwarming moment, a real sisterhood amongst these women. Would it have been nice to include Katie? I just feel like there's just so much more going on behind the scenes that we do not know about. Or they just don't like Katie and they're trying to self-produce and be like, well, we don't like her, so we want to X her out and bring Gretchen in. Honestly, I know I said this last week that it feels like Gretchen has a lot more going on. I'm surprised she didn't get an orange. But no, because I don't want her to get an orange. I don't want her to get full-time because it's clear that's what they want. And Slade would be involved, very much involved. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's not working. He wants her to get this Bravo check as a full-time player. Probably to help whatever other businesses that they have. This cycle of reality television, I keep telling you guys. I keep telling you. I hope you enjoyed this recap, guys. I know I'm not feeling this season, but it's not my own fault. Look, it's their fault of what they're focusing on and the direction that this cast has gone. I wonder if this cast would have went in the same direction if they had decided to really make some cast changes last season or at the top of this season. Maybe not. I don't know. But if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And if you are part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts. And you could be team whoever you want. Honestly, I don't care. I'm team me because I can only trust me and my truth. Okay. I can't trust nobody else's truth on this cast. Do I think Gretchen's lying? Yep. Do I think Slade was trying to be intimidating and lying? Yep. Do I think Katie's lying? Yep. Do I think Katie's a bad liar? Yep. Do I think Katie's still lying? Yep. All of them. All of the above. Anyway, thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Become a member today at TheKempire.com/join. Don't forget you can get our merch at houseofkempire.com. All that information is available in the description, along with the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era live experience. Go get your tickets. Our final show will be here in New York City. Our final show of 2025. Our final show for the summer. So if you've been missing out and you weren't able to come to our Philly show or our Atlanta show or our DC show, this is your opportunity to attend the Kempire After Dark live experience. Get your tickets today. Ticket information will be available in the description, along with a live stream ticket. So no matter where you are in the world, even if you can't watch it that night, you'll be able to watch it the next day or the next day or the next day for a week. All right. Ticket information will be available in the description. The Brooke Ashley will be opening up for us, so make sure you get your tickets. All right, y'all. I will see you guys later. I'm done with this recap and I'm done with the show, but I will see you guys during our Real Housewives of Miami recap later today. That will be live and in living color, and I'm sure our girls brought it. I'm actually looking forward. Again, have I loved everything about Real Housewives of Miami this season? No. But our girls have had a stellar season 4, season 5, season 6, and season 7 has been entertaining. All right. They just have the magic, and that's because we got a little bit of a reboot with them. But I wouldn't mind seeing some cast changes for Miami for next season. Not dramatic, just 1 or 2. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.